So the book I read for the book review was called The Journey to Wow. It was about a guy who starts a company, and it's a good company. It does well, but he kind of starts to uncover things that are wrong with it. The deeper he looks, most of it's centered around customer satisfaction. So the story kind of goes about how they change that, who helps him change that, and he takes his company from being a good company to a great company. So the three most surprising things I found in this book was the first one was how important it is to hire someone with a fresh look on your company and with a new set of eyes to really evaluate your company. They talk about how in the beginning of the book, him and the other CFOs, CEOs, all the employees thought their company was going great. They were doing everything perfectly well. Their sales were increasing every year, profit was increasing every year. But it wasn't until they had someone else actually come and look at the company that they uncovered that they had some deeper problems that if they weren't going to fix soon, they were going to have a lot of real issues down the road and maybe the company wouldn't be able to exist. And when this outside hire came in, they actually took a lot of fire in the book. It talks about a meeting they had where the outside hire came in, asked all employees, how do you think the consumers feel about you guys as a company? And everyone was like, oh yeah, great, great. The consumers love us. Our customers love us. Suppliers love us. And the outside hire actually said, no, they actually don't like you at all. So that really caught everyone off guard, and they didn't really believe her at first, but then they went into more detail about why. And that kind of leads me to my second point, something that really surprised me in the book. The main thing that the outside hire talked about was that yes, you guys have good product reviews, but your company reviews are really bad. And I think that caught everyone off guard in that meeting because they all pointed to, oh, look at our survey results. People love us. They love our products. We're a great company. We have a good relationship with the consumers. But then the person really pointed out, no, they love your product. They don't love you guys as a company. So the outside hire actually went and did a second survey where they talked about how do you enjoy the company, how do you like working with the company, all questions based around the company, and they found out that the customer satisfaction was actually a lot lower than anyone had thought. Out of 10, it was only a 4.3. That's what consumers rated them, was a 4.3, and suppliers only rated them a 3.7. So that's when they really realized they had a massive problem. And I'd never really thought of that before, the distinction between product reviews and company reviews. I think sometimes those can get intermixed, and I think it's easy to say, oh yeah, the consumers love us. No, they love your product, not you. And I think that could be an issue down the road. The last thing that surprised me about this book was that after this meeting, they figured out that they had a customer satisfaction problem. And the CEO and the CFO kind of talked, and they were like, okay, let's send out a memo, basically be nicer to the consumers, to the suppliers, and let's try to change this thing around. And that's when the outside hire came in and they said, no, that's not what we're going to do. You guys need to hire someone specifically with the job to improve customer satisfaction. So that's what they ended up doing. It wasn't enough just to send a memo and try to get employees to be nicer and improve the company that way. They actually hired someone full-time and put them at the level similar to the CFO, CEO, because they needed the power, they needed the authority to trickle down that customer satisfaction and how they were going to change that satisfaction to all the employees. I think this kind of surprised me because in the past, whenever I've thought about a company trying to change their culture, I just thought about the current employees there and the current leaders kind of changing their mindset. But the book really talks about how that's not enough. You actually need someone either with a fresh set of eyes, whether that's a new hire or a recent hire or just a completely new hire, to come in, share new thoughts on the company, and really try to shift that mindset. It's not enough just to have current employees slowly try to change. This reminded me of Pins and Aces social media, and I think this will impact Pins and Aces social media because based off what I've read in the book, because I think looking at their social media and just kind of understanding all that I do about their company, I know that people love their product, but I don't know if people actually love them as a company. And this relates to social media because I was doing a social media calendar for them last week, and I was looking at their posts and kind of creating some of my own posts, and so many of them are product reviews like, oh, I love this polo, I love this driver cover, but it's never anything about I love this company, I love working with this company. So I think that's something that's really interesting, and they should definitely look into a little bit. And also, when I was looking at their social media, it seems like their connection between the consumers and the company is so low. It's always about the product, product, product. They're so product oriented that it almost seems kind of fake, and it's not as organic as I think it should be. I think they should kind of work it around building into the community, working with local golfers, and I think it would seem less pushy of just like product here, buy this, we have great reviews. I think they need to kind of push more of we're a great company, connect with us as a company, and I think that's something that I learned from that book that they should definitely try to work towards. I think something in the book that affects social media in general, I think, is customer satisfaction. I think customer satisfaction is so relevant today with social media, because if people don't like your company, they can just go on Twitter, Instagram, whatever it may be, and just absolutely say everything they hate about you, and it can even go viral. They talk about how in the book the employees think that, yes, their consumers like them, and then the outside hire comes in and says, actually, there's 3 or 4 websites and blogs that are just dedicated to all basically hate speech about your company and how much they hate dealing with you guys and how much they hate your employees. So I think that really also it also really spoke to me, because I think if your company isn't liked by consumers, it's not like the old days where it's not going to spread. I think now if you do something wrong, if you don't treat your consumers the right way, and your employees don't treat them the right way and each other the right way, I think that stuff can go viral and it can be detrimental to your company. I was thinking about United Airlines in particular. I remember a few years ago when they dragged some guy off the plane because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to, or whatever the case may be, but that video went absolutely viral, and people all over social media were just killing United Airlines, saying how bad of an airline they were. And ever since then, I was doing more research. Their profits have just gone down and down, and their customer satisfaction has just gone incredibly down. I found a stat about United Airlines saying that 35% of the reviews they get are negative. That's obviously super bad for the company, and I think it's obviously been showed in their profits and their sales that it's gone down, and it's definitely been affected. So I think just understanding that you need to satisfy your customers, and if you don't, if you do something wrong, they can go on social media and kind of expose you, which I think is a good thing, because if you're not doing the right things as a company, people will find out. I think it just pushes you even more to do the right things, especially when people are watching, but definitely when people aren't, because I think if you get caught, it'll look really bad and your company will really get punished in the end. So thanks for watching my book review. I really enjoyed the book, actually. It was a pretty easy read. If you haven't read it, I think you'd really like it. It's a quick read. It kind of tells the story. It's not so much about do this with your company, do this, do this. It kind of tells the story and sprinkles in the elements and the business side of it into like a more enjoyable way to read it.